Finally back home, and we've got a lot of work to do.
But not without our own set of new issues.
As most of you know, or maybe you don't, this shop is completely off-grid, meaning we have no electricity.
We are fully powered by solar, and that's really, really great.
But also sometimes really, really bad. It's awesome not having to pay an electricity bill, but also when it's rainy or dark outside, you don't get any power. And there's been some times when it rains for 2 weeks and we just don't have power. Long story short, I love solar, but I also hate solar. When we got back from SEMA, we figured out that our shop power was dead, which isn't unusual. We were at the shop super late multiple nights and may not have had time to recharge. But usually we can reset it and recharge it overnight. A couple of days later, the shop still has no power. We had to get the solar guys out here, and somehow, some way, the firmware got corrupted on our inverters, which takes the power from the battery bank and distributes it to the different lights or the lifts or whatever. They're just not working. So we have to get all new firmware, motherboard things, which, long story short, we don't have power for a week plus. So awesome thing to come home to, but that's not stopping us because we do have a lot of work. But with that being said, just bear with us. We're going to be either working outside where we have some sunlight, or maybe just a little bit darker on the inside. And I know you're hearing some weird noises from the camera. That's because my camera has just also decided to not work, and every time it autofocuses, it makes a really weird whining noise. Everything is fine. We're gonna be okay, and we're gonna get through it. It's fine. Let's take a look at the NSX.
The fully built Supercharged NSX made it to SEMA, drove in and out,
and we even got the first drive on it down the strip of Las Vegas, as well as some Las Vegas freeways, which was also absolutely terrifying. I've only driven this car a total of 13 kilometers, which, compute that, is like 7 miles. That's crazy, and that's the most I've ever driven it, and it was on a busy, full traffic Las Vegas freeway and down the strip. Very cool, but also very scary, especially because, no, we didn't do,
Tim.
What did we not do?
We didn't bed the brakes. So
I went to go stop at a red light, not stopping. It was terrifying. But
I mean, you only drove it in and out of the shop.
I know. It was a very scary situation, but we made it through, and honestly, with very minimal issues. We did figure out that the NSX has this weird thing where if it warms up, it does not want to run, and it turns off and shuts off at every single red light. I was too sensory overloaded and scared that we didn't film any of it, but yeah, there's the weird situation going on there, but it runs generally.
Now, before this NSX is considered fully complete,
there's a few things that we have to do, and in today's video, the mission is to get this NSX completely ready to get full power and go to the dyno tuner.
That means this NSX will be fully ready to hit the streets, hit the track, and just fully have fun
and enjoy what we completely built, hopefully after today's video. Let's take a look.
There's a couple of things that came in after SEMA and that are necessities for us to get this thing dyno tuned. Number one, you guys probably remember this if you watched the entire series.
One of the upgrades that I opted for on our supercharger kit was the optional cooler. That is a cooler, essentially like a intercooler for the supercharger that goes in between the block and the manifold here. It's just like a little intercooler and runs all the way to the front of the car where we have our actual intercooler up front, which that's a really cool little piece. Kind of, if you know, you know. When you're checking out the car, you can see that we have that optional cooler. That's gonna actually give us a whole lot more power and make the supercharger run more efficiently.
Unfortunately, they had never ran this kit on a right-hand drive car. So the cooling reservoir, whatever you want to call this thing, the tank for the cooler was made for a left-hand drive car, which is different than a right-hand drive car. So they made us a custom one for our right-hand drive car. While Tim takes care of the cooler, I am going to be working on our new map sensor. So you guys saw during the installation as well,
Another upgrade I opted for on the Supercharger was the larger throttle body. With a larger throttle body, to get the maximum performance again, we do have to upgrade the map sensor. So I have a brand new Scientist Speed 4-bar map sensor that I'm currently installing right down here to get all the airflow from the throttle body to the Supercharger. This is going to be sick. So another little piece of the puzzle. I'll update you guys once Tim has the cooler installed and we can move forward. Let's see how much fun this is going to be. So you guys can get a better look right in there. We now have a 4-bar. Oh wait, this is a 3-bar. I thought we got a 4-bar. Oops, I was wrong. This is actually a 3-bar map sensor, not a 4-bar. Now all we gotta do is one of these. There we go. Boom. Good to go. Now we got all the airflow. Map sensor is installed. Let's check in on Tim. Woo! That is a nice reservoir.
I do wish it was all aluminum.
It would be nice, right? If it was
would
aluminum.
like make everything pop more, you know?
Yeah.
But it matches that.
Did we ever show this? The setup up here? I don't remember if we did or not. I think we did.
Maybe.
But that's cool. Dude, the whole thing is so sick. We have our anti-gravity battery with the Melee battery box, and then we have our Nitron suspension, and now we're gonna have the cooler right up here. That's sick. So it's pretty crazy how it all works. The reservoir up here connects to the intercooler. Then there's 2 lines that run all the way to the back to the Supercharger.
It's got coolant in it. It's up front it's gonna be super cold.
Yeah.
And you gotta think it's not going through the engine, so it's getting absolutely cold air at that point. The only heat it'll get is from the engine supercharger, and everything else is going to be cold.
That's so sick. Cold air means more power. It's going to be really nice.
Flex fuel sensor is installed, all plumbed up. All the coolant stuff for the water-cooled intercooler is installed. I'm about to fill it up with fluids. I'm going to turn the car in the on position and get the fuel to move and make sure I have no leaks. Then I can put the alternator back in, because that alternator was in the way for the fuel stuff.
Looking good. That pump is running. Sick. All right. Map sensor, cooling system complete. With all of these new modifications, the car is now ready for maximum power out of the Supercharger. I am so excited to see what we can get out of this thing. You guys know the whole purpose of this build was to be the ultimate driver's car. I'm going to drive this thing on the street, drive it on the track. I wanted the most usable power that I could possibly get. That's what the Supercharger is going to give us, paired with the Nitron suspension, our nice RE71RS tires. This thing is going to feel incredible. So a couple of things to button up. This car will be ready to get loaded into the trailer and make the 5-hour road trip to Arizona.
And tell me if you get a result.
I see linear cal 1.
And do you see on the very bottom under, I think it's under analog, it should be analog 1.
Okay, now for the fun stuff. Making some really good progress here. Tune is all fixed with the new map sensor, so it actually runs. Not great, but it does run. Now we're on the final home stretch. Tim had to run out and go find us an oil filter because we are doing our first ever oil change on the new engine. That is something that should definitely be done before we take this thing for the tune. Once this oil change is done, ready for a full send tune. I'm so stoked. Flex fuel, new map sensor, cooler for the Supercharger, and new oil. This is gonna be sick. Come on, baby. Okay, let's get in here. Frick. Bringing me back to the old days. Now, if you guys don't remember, we do have the RFY Racing Factory Yamamoto extended oil pan and baffled. Super nice, but also holds way more oil. So I need to go get a big juicy pan to fit all of it. Oh, shit, there we go. Okay, we're gonna drain this oil, fill her back up, and load her onto the trailer. Please excuse the darkness. Sometimes this is just how it is. The stupid stuff we do for cars. It is 3 a.m. and now it's time to make the almost 6-hour road trip to Arizona to get the NSX tuned. Now you might be asking why we are going 6 hours to tune the NSX. Well, if you guys don't remember, the engine was built by Science of Speed. Science of Speed is an NSX and S2000 shop based out of Arizona, and since the engine was built and spec'd out all by Science of Speed, I felt the most comfortable getting the car tuned by them since they know their application the best. So I'm biting the bullet and going all the way to Science of Speed. Oh man. Cannot believe we made it for 10 o'clock. That was a very long 6 hours at 3 in the morning. Originally, we were supposed to be here to drop the car off by 4 p.m. today, but there was a scheduling change with the tuner, and the only way that we were gonna make it work to get the car tuned today and not have to wait another 2 or 3 weeks was to make it here by 10 a.m. And we did it.
I'm super stoked. It was worth rushing all day yesterday and getting up at 2:30 this morning to make sure this car was here.
The NSX is made it to Arizona. Now it's time to get this thing actually up and running fully.
Let's do this. I am so excited. Again, we've driven this just barely over 13 kilometers, so nothing at all. I am so excited to finally hear this thing opened up, full tilt, all the noises vibrating behind my head. I am so excited. I just have faint memories of this car running when we got to drive it back from the port, and that's all. So to have this thing with the full RFY exhaust header set up, supercharger, all just right here, it's gonna be just a visceral experience, or at least in my head, that's what I imagine it to be. So I'm very excited. We're gonna pull up to the Science of Speed shop here, and they're gonna get it all set up and ready for a tune. Whoa. I cannot wait to hear that RFY exhaust scream. Oh my gosh. I can't believe she's here.
Yeah, are you excited?
Oh my gosh, Chris, you have no freaking idea. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thanks for having us.
I was just thinking about it, but it's crazy that, what was it, 4 or 5 months ago, we were here just dropping off pieces of an engine.
Oh yeah.
And now it's
literal pieces.
Yeah, now it's all put back together and came out so beautiful with the SOS supercharger on top. I mean, it's awesome. Yes.
First right-hand drives with a supercharger kit.
Really?
This is maybe number 2 or number 3. So, you know, obviously we had to make the custom reservoir for the intercooler for the right-hand drive. But yeah, get to see it here and excited to see what kind of power it'll make.
Yeah, figured it out. That's pretty cool.
Now, the one question I have is, what is the setup like for a fully built engine? So, like, you guys know, this thing was completely apart, bottom, top end, everything has been
touched and put back together. What is it like when you're about to go for a dyno tune and a new engine?
So, you know, we try to keep things as low drama as possible, and it's really not that much different than a factory engine. The one thing that we do that's different, obviously, is we have a fresh engine, so we're going to do some break-in It's a series of loaded pulls allowing the rings to break in and get the bearings starting to break in as well.
Nice, very cool. So we can kind of skip past all the driving and, you know, going through the city and stuff. That's really cool. So we can just hop right on and do everything straight off the dyno, which is nice.
I mean, the nice thing that the dyno environment, you know, gives us is a really controlled environment.
Yeah.
So we can listen to how the car sounds, how it's performing generally, and, you know, not only the tuning but the break-in in that real controlled environment.
Right.
It produces the most repeatable results when you have, you know, things as kind of low drama as possible.
Right. Hey, that makes a lot of sense. That makes me very, very happy. Now, unfortunately, we can't stay for the full tune, but we will get to see towards the end kind of some pulls and where you guys land, right?
Right on.
I am so excited for this.
That protective sleeve on it, so it'll protect me.
So crazy to see.
Can you get
a
Stupid. So there's these axle straps.
Okay. What's are those? These are hard rings.
They're here, really likely to start it rolling. And really likely to kind of tap the throttle a little bit. Right in neutral for now.
It's almost like he does this for a living.
Dude. 4 months ago, this was just a pile of bolts.
It really was.
What kind of power are you shooting for?
500?
Probably not going to happen with the 3.4 pulley.
With
Remember we
the
talked about the 3.2 or 3.4 and 3.4.
Oh, with the pulley.
A little more conservative.
Okay.
So I think probably 475 is doable with flex seal.
That's cool with me. 475 sounds good to me.
You don't want to hit the big 5.0?
We can change the pulley.
Yeah, we've done 500 on this engine setup that'd be about 14 pounds. It does require the step smaller pulley.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of a diminishing return. 475 to 500.
It's like not that big of a jump.
It's not that big of a jump.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the 3.4 I think is totally reasonable.
Okay, perfect.
The kit can go up to, I think the most we've done is 540 with the slightly bigger engine.
Wow, 540, that's crazy. That's a lot of power.
That makes a difference. But
Yeah,
475
definitely. I think
on a light NSX.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
awesome.
like, definitely like for chassis enjoyment, I feel like 475 is really like a sweet point. Because
Absolutely.
anything over 500, you're kind of at that point playing around with the car. Whereas 475 like is a good median number where you can enjoy the car and enjoy the power that's gonna have.
But on a butt dyno, it will be 500.
Oh yeah, on the butt dyno, it's a bit scary.
Right, I figure, you know, the cars are worth, you know, 270 from the factory at the engine.
Right.
So 475, you're making probably about 525 bhp. So pretty significant.
That's gonna be saucy. I'm so excited for this. Oh my gosh, man. The months and months and all the work that Tim and I have put into this car, this is gonna make it all worth it. So I'm excited. Chris, thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome.
Chris was kind of explaining a little bit of like how I'm sorry, my camera makes this really weird noise. How they created this supercharger just from scratch. So you guys started with the Comtech and then you're just kind of...
Yeah, we've been, you know, building high performance version of the Comtech supercharger kits for a number of years. And, you know, unfortunately when Comtech went out of business, we weren't able to get the castings anymore. And because we were literally in between, you know, shipping orders, we, you know, had to get on, you know, essentially recreating the kit from scratch. And so, you know, the benefit we had as opposed to Comtech in the mid-90s, amazing what they did.
Right.
But we had the benefit of, you know, CAD and CFD analysis. So we were able to build prototype conceptual manifolds and then test them in CFD and pick the one that actually delivered the best response.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so it was an awesome project, and it was one of those things that just worked out so well because this particular supercharger unit we you know, selected to use, you know, it's an OEM derived supercharger. So one of the benefits to this design that I didn't really think of, you know, some of the other supercharger kits, there's just that momentary delay in throttle response.
Right.
And, you know, that crisp throttle response is what these cars are known for.
Yep.
And it's something I really want to observe. And I'm really excited for you to drive it. And I don't want to, like,
Don't spoil
I don't want
it.
to bias it for you, but one of the really unexpected outcomes is the throttle response feels like a naturally aspirated car.
Right.
So it's, you know, I have this kit on my car. I think it's one of our best products because it only adds to the experience of the NSX and doesn't take it away like
Oh my
That's my
gosh.
experience with some other
Yes.
kits.
Goosebumps. That's exactly what I wanted from the start. I like the entire build of this car, and when we figured out when the engine was bad, it was kind of a decision whether we wanted a case swap, do we want to keep this engine, do we want a turbo, whatever. And my whole thing is I wanted to keep the spirit of what made an NSX an NSX, and that was the C30. And I wanted to modernize that and kind of get the most out of this engine, which is how I came across the Supercharger.
Right.
And to hear you say that makes me so happy, because that's all I wanted for the car.
Right.
Was just a little more squeeze out of it,
Sure.
and to keep the spirit and what makes an NSX the NSX.
Thought all I was coming home with today was a new tune, but I guess we have some new parts
I mean,
too.
we needed this.
This was just an extra goodie.
This is
Induction.
They said, "Hey, have you heard of this?" And he bought it. So
That's how it works. You guys will see this when we get back home. By the power of editing magic, we are now back at Science of Speed.
And the NSX is loosely tuned. He's got it pretty much dialed in, but we are leaving the car overnight because he is going to tune it on a cold start tune as well, just to make sure everything is running, starting, working as it should. We weren't able to actually film pretty much anything in the dyno cell, just because that's the rules here at Science of Speed and the tuner and all that, but they are allowing us in for a couple of last pulls to see it all tuned up and good to go. Very nice of Chris to allow us into the dyno cell. It's not a usual thing, but I knew for this project and documenting the whole build, one thing I really wanted to show was obviously the tune and the process of getting this new engine all tuned here at Science of Speed. So, big thank you to Chris. We're gonna get a couple of pulls on the camera for you guys. We'll be back in the morning to pick it up, but let's go check it out and see how it is. This place is always just so cool to me. It's like you never see stuff like this in America. Very rarely do you see stuff like this in America. To me, this is this heavily resembles the Japan shops that we get to visit. What's up, Chris?
Hey,
Good to
how's
see
it
you.
going?
How'd everything go?
Well, it's going. It's
Okay.
probably
Oh,
here.
okay, sick.
Sounds gnarly.
Wow.
That sounds awesome. So I'm guessing it's going well?
Yeah, going well. We're on
Oh.
ethanol now.
Let's pop inside here.
quick.
Nice to meet you.
Dustin, Tony.
Everything's going good, I hope?
For the most part, yeah.
Nice, I like that.
Tony's been tuning NSXs for us for closing in on 20 years now.
Wow, that's awesome.
So he owns his own shop, UMS Tuning.
Okay, very cool.
He does contract work for us here.
Nice, very cool. Well, thank you for taking the time.
Definitely has tuned more NSXs than anybody in the world, probably.
Oh, yeah? That is very good to hear.
It is true.
It's wild.
How many would you say that is? Round, like ballpark? Hundreds, yeah.
3 to 4, maybe.
Wow.
HKS,
Just everything.
Infinity, and now Win.
Wow.
Gigantic flame back there. Wow.
You have test bikes on this, right?
Yes. Oh, I don't know if I filmed it, but that was a fat fireball back there.
Get opportunities.
That is, it sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Wow, it sounds very nice. And the VTEC crossover, I didn't know if it was going to be loud on these engines or not, but it's pretty noticeable. Holy crap, I am so
Brings it
excited.
down to about 4,000 to 4,500 RPM.
Okay.
So especially on the S2000, the VTEC crossover point is kind of artificially high,
Right.
to get that sound.
Yeah.
So these we can bring it down because of the airflow the supercharger is generating and needs it lower.
Wow.
But also bringing it lower, kind of you don't hear it as abruptly.
Right.
Oh my God, I am unbelievably excited to drive this thing, Chris.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand.
I am so.
Did you get much time in it before?
No, I literally opened the container, drove it from Long Beach to Temecula, where we are, drove it to the shop. We literally the next day pulled the engine out to do the maintenance, found the bad engine, and then that's where you came.
You got a sense of how slow they are.
I did, yeah, yes, I did. I mean, it was slow, but I thoroughly enjoyed the driving experience.
Yeah.
Just like having the engine behind your head, and it was fun. But I think like this is exactly what the car's gonna need.
Yeah,
so.
I think especially with the upgrades with the suspension, you know, tires that actually can hold this amount of horsepower, like the Supercharger really kind of brings a balance to the equation that I think works really well with those other improvements on the chassis.
Oh man, I'm like a kid in a candy shop right now, dude. Goosebumps. This is awesome. So we'll let the tuner do his thing for a little bit, and when he kind of wraps it up, we'll come back in here for some final pulls.
Sounds good.
Sick. I am so excited to drive it. They're doing a couple cool down pulls right now. They are staying on the conservative side since it is a brand new engine. We can downsize on the pulley and obviously get more boost out of the Supercharger, but I think right where we're at is a good starting point. We can always add more PSI, smaller pulley, and get a lot more boost out of this thing. But for a completely fresh engine, I think where we're sitting right now is gonna be perfect. We'll talk to you guys all about that in the next episode when I'm actually able to pick this car up and go for the first drive. But for now, I'll leave you guys on a little bit of a cliffhanger. We'll end the dyno session, and then tomorrow morning after the cold start tune, we'll pick it up and go for the first drive. Oh, yeah, let's just take a listen here. Let's see if we get a fireball. Oh, I cannot wait. Oh my.
Who needs a rear bumper? Like, honestly.
What have we done? What the fuck?
I can't wait till you decel on the highway. It's just like,
Yeah. Wow.
I did not put the change that you emailed me about.
We have created a monster.
An absolute, oh, the titanium now? Dude,
That titanium coloring,
that is some art craft there. The true art of tuning.
that was sick.
I think we've created a monster. Everything looks good.
Yeah,
That's
it worked
awesome.
out well. Hit about 50 on ethanol, which at 11 pounds, that's pretty awesome.
I know, and there's room to grow too down the road, which is sick.
well, we're not quite done yet. Like I told you guys, although the tune is complete, a really cool thing that they do is a cold start tune to make sure that when the engine is completely cold, starts up, runs okay, all the good stuff, so that no matter when we drive this car, how we drive this car, it's gonna be set. So Chris, thank you so much, man. This is awesome.
Almost completely flat.
Yeah. Look at that torque curve.
This makes the drivability awesome.
Yeah, I'm super, super excited.
I don't think I've ever been so excited to finally drive a car in my entire life. So I'm so ready.
And I'm happy that it was just high enough to get it on.
Holy sh!
I'm calling somebody because they need to know. Did you get the video?
Oh my god. You don't realize how difficult it is for me right now to leave this shop and not be taking the car with me. But it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth the wait to have it done completely right.
guys,
The belt was a
results speak for itself.
I think we did it right. I think we did the NSX justice. This is better than I could have ever imagined. Tonight, we're actually gonna go get some dinner with one of our good friends, and we'll take you guys along. Just wow, I'm speechless. Science to Speed, thank you. Chris, thank you. Tony the tuner, thank you. This is gonna be so epic.
All right, what time is it right now? That's the real question. 10:19.
Just wrapped up today's video. Tim and I have literally watched the video from the Dyno tune 8,000 times, and we've been trying to figure out what this car sounds like because it's so unique.
The best thing we could come up with, the same high pitch note.
That is Senna's race car, F1 race car from the 90s. Literally that same high-pitched growl. Oh, I'm like literally a little kid right now. I cannot wait. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight because I'm so excited to be able to pick up this freaking car. Where can I set this? To be able to pick up this car in the morning. It was so hard to leave that car at Science to Speed, but I know it's gonna be worth it when the tune is all said and done. You guys are gonna get to see more of what the car made, how it drives tomorrow. We're doing the whole thing tomorrow, and I'm very excited to take you guys along. But we just finished up today's video. I'm gonna get it uploaded so you guys can see it, and the next episode will be on Monday for the first drive, full send. Can't tell, I gotta compose myself. But we're gonna try and get a little bit of sleep tonight because we have a very long and fun day planned for tomorrow. So stay tuned. Hope you guys are stoked on the outcome of the NSX. You know that we are. Like, all of our hard work has led up to this moment, and I can safely say it has paid off. I really do think we did justice to the NSX, and tomorrow I will get to experience that and have a whole lot of fun. We have some cool plans, and I'm excited. Thank you to Science to Speed and Chris for getting it done for us and fitting us into the busy schedule. Like I said, we're gonna wrap this up, get some sleep, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. If you have not already, make sure you hit that like button. Leave us a comment down below. Give us your best. What do you think the car made? Let me know. Dyno numbers down below. And of course, help us get to 1 million and hit that subscribe button. We'll see you for the next episode. Peace out. Oh, you're still here. Thanks for watching this long. If you made it this far, you should consider subscribing right up here, or I guess down below. And YouTube really thinks that you're gonna like this video right over here, so maybe check that one out. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let's get back to it.